You're about to feel personally attacked by a zip code. Imagine this. Two people with the same brain, same work ethic, same I'll grind now and relax later mindset, and one ends up wealthy while the other feels broke forever. Not because one invested better, not because one hustled harder, not because one got lucky, because one chose a cheaper square mile of earth. This is the geography trap, the most underrated wealth destroyer in personal finance. And if you're living in a high-cost city telling yourself, yeah, but the opportunities, the vibe, the network, you might be paying a silent tax you never agreed to. Let's make this painfully real. Meet Ethan, software developer, solid company, 6 years in. Salary $122,000. Sounds like winning, right? Now meet Ethan's landlord, because that's who's actually getting rich. Ethan pays $3,400 a month for a one-bedroom that looks like it stopped updating itself during the Cold War. Street parking, ancient appliances, nothing cute, nothing luxury, just expensive. That's $40,800 a year in rent. Now taxes show up like a second landlord. After federal tax, California tax, and payroll taxes, Ethan's take-home is around $84,000. So before he buys groceries, before he buys coffee, before he lives, about half of his take-home has already evaporated into rent. And the city does the rest. Food costs more. Insurance costs more. Going out costs more. Just existing costs more. At the end of the month, Ethan saves about $400, sometimes less, sometimes zero. Let that sink in. $122,000 salary and $400 saved per month. After 6 years of working, Ethan has about $23,000 in retirement savings and a used Honda. That's his net worth at 31. And the worst part isn't even the money. It's the feeling. Because every raise he gets doesn't feel like progress. It feels like rent catching up. Now meet Noah. Same age, same era, same I'm trying to build a life energy. Noah makes less, $94,000. But Noah moved to a lower cost city. Think Boise, Omaha, Kansas City, wherever. His rent? $1,400 for a two-bedroom, with laundry, with parking, with a life that doesn't require financial CPR. Lower taxes, lower groceries, lower everything. Noah saves $1,800 a month. And here's the punchline. Noah is building real wealth on a smaller salary, while Ethan is stuck on a bigger one. This isn't a paradox, it's math. Because salary is not the number you earn, it's the number you keep. After your location takes its cut. Here's the rule nobody teaches. A dollar is not a dollar. $100,000 in a city like San Francisco or Manhattan is a completely different life than $100,000 in a city like Memphis or Oklahoma City. Not a little different, not 10%. Sometimes it's double, sometimes it's triple. So let's translate cost of living into something you can actually feel. Purchasing power. If your city costs about 80% more than average, then $100,000 after tax doesn't buy what it should. It buys what around $55,000 would buy in a normal city. That means your income is getting chopped in half without you ever changing jobs. And if you live somewhere 15 to 20% below average, the same $100,000 buys like $120,000 to $125,000 elsewhere. So the gap between a very expensive city and a cheaper one isn't small, it's life-altering. Now the real damage is what happens next, compounding. Because the geography trap doesn't just steal money today, it steals decades of future wealth. Ethan invests $400 a month. Noah invests $1,800 a month. Same boring index funds, same average return, say 8% annually. 20 years later, Ethan has around a couple $100,000. Noah crosses $1 million. Same human, same economy, same investments, different zip code. That difference isn't extra money, that's extra life. It's retiring earlier, it's choices, it's taking risks, it's saying no to garbage jobs because you're not trapped. So why do people stay? Because the most expensive cities don't just cost more. They sell better. They sell identity, status. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. And sometimes it's true. If you're 23 and trying to break into a hyper-local industry, being in the hub can be a real advantage. But here's what changed the game. Remote work. The old assumption was simple. You have to live where the jobs are. Now the question is, do you? Now the next level, international geography arbitrage. This is where the math starts looking like a cheat code. If you earn remote income, you can save nothing in a high-cost city, or save thousands per month somewhere cheaper. At that point, financial freedom becomes a timeline. Now, yes, life is more than money. Family is real, friends are real, community is real. But do one thing. Put a number on it. Calculate what it costs to stay. Decide if you're getting what you're paying for. Because your zip code isn't destiny, it's a decision. If this made you look at your city differently, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.